welcome to my home. I'm so excited about this show because I love food. I think food is one of those things that brings people together. Nothing makes me happier than to share a meal with my family or to go out to dinner with my friends. And I really think a way to connect with people is when you cook for them. And I'm someone that loves to cook. I have a tiny kitchen here at my house, but you know, I try to make it work. And I think that's the way that I show my love to my husband and my baby and to my friends. And so this show is going to be a little bit of all of that. We're going to get to go to some really great restaurants here in LA and talk to some fantastic chefs. And we're also going to make some dinners at home, quick things that you can make during the week. And another thing that I think is just the best is when you can entertain and make it easy on yourself, not where you're pulling your hair out and all frantic about, you know, making it perfect. Just cozy and fun. On this show today, we're gonna take you to a restaurant called Felix. Everybody wants a seat at Felix because of the chef, Chef Evan Funke. His passion for pasta is unlike anything I've ever seen. It was such a treat to talk to him. We're here in Venice on Abbot Kinney in front of one of the hottest restaurants in town, Felix. Chef Evan Funke is a student of Italy. He's been there hundreds of times and has learned how to make pasta like the grandmas and the mamas do in Italy. And he said he really wanted this place to feel like your grandma's house, if your grandma was Sophia Loren. So let's go inside and meet him. Chef!
Hi, how are you?
Hi, so
Welcome.
Nice to meet
Welcome
you.
to Felix. Pleasure.
Oh, what a pleasure for me. I would say to have a passion for pasta is an understatement.
I'm a little bit maniacal about pasta.
Yes, you are. What started this passion or this love of pasta for you?
Well, I moved to Bologna in 2007 and studied under a master pasta maker there named Alessandra Spisni. And she really opened the door for me to start seeking out other pasta makers throughout the peninsula of Italy that deal in handmade pasta. And that's been my life's blood for the last decade. If you look at pasta as a genre, anything that you can find in the grocery store was at one time made by hand in the home. So anything that you find in the grocery store really has a history. It has an ancestral shape.
And so now to see your beautiful restaurant in Venice on Abbot Kinney. Look at the smile that you, is that just, and to be able to take all that knowledge that you have gained through the years of learning in Italy and studying to now serve it to people every night. What's that like?
I think the best compliment for me is when Italians come in and tell me that it reminds them of home.
From a 6th generation Californian, he's gonna teach us how to make some pasta. Let's get started.
We're gonna make a pasta called capunti. This is a very basic Southern style pasta dough. So we're just gonna cut a bit off and we'll make a snake, okay? You wanna start in the middle, overlap your hands and pressure even out and press and pull all the way out until we have a nice even snake.
Chef, you're fast.
I've had a little bit of practice.
And you know what? It takes more pressure than I thought. I heard whenever they eat pasta in Italy, they say la mamma. Is that true?
La mamma is the best chef in the world.
It's your mama.
Just excellent.
I got a little,
That's all right.
I'm not even.
An ounce of sauce covers 1,000 sins.
It's so true.
So you want to basically judge your 3 fingers and then cut the pasta roughly that big. You want to position your fingers at the front third, deep press with pressure, even pressure, pull back.
Wow, look at that beauty.
Form a hook with the 3 fingers, front third, deep press, pull back, even pressure. Excellent work. A few 100,000 more, you'll be a professional. And we're gonna pair them with some rapini, some spicy sausage, and a little bit of andouille.
Delicious.
And then you get to eat it.
I can't wait, I can't wait.
We're gonna start with a little bit of sausage, and then here we have a little bit of andouille. This is a spreadable spicy pork sausage. And then to the other half of the pan, you see it starting to smoke, we're gonna add some rapini from Weiser Farms.
So this all comes together pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's the beauty of Italian food. If you're cooking for 7 hours, you're not doing it right. We're gonna add a little bit of salt to the rapini, and then just give it a quick toss. And then we're gonna add a little bit of chopped garlic to this, just a touch. And then once it becomes aromatic, we're gonna add some pomodoro to this. So just a touch of peperoncino and just some pomodoro. Pasta water's up. We're just gonna drop the pasta. You basically want this pasta to seem like it's aggressively trying to get out of the pot. The pasta water here, just to create a little bit of suppleness in the sauce. All right, so you see how they're trying to get out.
Yes, I do.
We know we're ready.
That was a good way to explain it, yeah.
We take a little bit of the water straight in.
Oh, that looks so good. It smells delicious. And I think one of the ones I made could be in here. It might have made the cut.
Maybe.
Probably not. Now I get the kick. So good. One more.
Absolutely. Good job.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Congratulations
Thank you so much.
on having one of the hottest restaurants in town.
Thanks.
Oh my gosh, that pasta was so amazing, as is Chef Funky. But you know what? We're not done yet, because I got to taste a lot of other specialties that he is known for. The focaccia bread. People go to Felix just for the bread. It is one of the best things I've ever tasted. Go to ktola.com and check it out. Coming up on California Cooking. Have you heard of the Puffy taco? Apparently it's really popular in Arizona and Texas. Chris Burrous is taking us to the original Puffy taco place here in Los Angeles. Can't wait for that. And then moms, you know how hard it is to cook a meal for your kid and for them to actually like it. Well, we're doing a little something called Levi Likes It, and I make him dinner and you'll see, does he like it? But up next, an easy breezy weeknight dinner, roasted salmon with an herb panko crust. Plus, I had the pleasure of meeting the owner of Salt and Straw, one of my favorite ice cream shops. That's coming up. A part of the show is me getting to share some of my favorite recipes with you, and one of my favorites is a roasted plank of salmon, and I put a panko breadcrumb crust on there with herbs, and I make a little side sauce. And I have to tell you, I made this for my family. We had a large gathering a few months ago, and they loved it. And I'm someone that gets really nervous when I cook for a group of people, but this was foolproof. You really can't screw it up, I promise. So I cook dinner 5 nights a week, and I really try to do things that are quick and easy, where I can just go to the store and grab a couple things, or have things that are already in the pantry so I don't have to, scramble around at the end of the day. And this salmon that I make, I actually was not a huge salmon lover for a long time, but then I discovered if I put crunchy breadcrumbs on top, I like it a lot more. And my husband likes it, my kid likes it, so I feel like, okay, if they like it, then it must be a winner. And it's really easy, it's just a couple of ingredients. So I'll go ahead and make the herb topping. And like I said, we start with the panko, which is my favorite to bread with because it's extra crispy and crunchy. And really, you eyeball it. I make extra because you don't want to have to go back in and make a little more if you don't have enough. So that's about a cup, I'd say. And then I get some fresh dill. So I chop off a good amount of dill. And then we're gonna use the dill later for a little sauce that I make. So I would say from this little pile, well, that's a good 2 tablespoons. Now we'll do a little parsley. This is a lot of parsley, so I'm just gonna tear a bunch off. I mean, it's not as graceful as I want it, but. And I just do the stems and all. And really, if you like tarragon, if you like basil, there's no wrong with this. And then I feel like anything that looks kind of green feels like it's a little healthier for you too. Okay, now for the garlic. I'll probably do 2 cloves. So we chop this up pretty good. So yeah, 2 cloves, we'll put that in there. I have these really pretty little green onions. So when I cook, I don't really follow recipes. I probably should. But it's like I'll make something, or I'll see a recipe online, and then I kind of tweak it to make it something that I can do, or based on the ingredients I have in the house. Okay, so you add this to the breadcrumb mixture. So here's the mixture. And I even add a little bit of salt. I like to use kosher salt. And then we bring the salmon over. And you could do individual portions, but I like to get it in the slab. I put a piece of parchment paper down so you don't have to really mess with a dirty pan. So I get some Dijon mustard because you need something for the breadcrumbs to stick onto. And you just kind of smear it around. And then we do a little bit of salt because Dijon mustard has a good amount of salt in it, so you don't want to do too much. A little pepper, and now the breadcrumbs. And you can pile it up as high as you like it. And then I'm gonna bake it at 425, probably 10, 12 minutes. Check on it, see if it's cooked enough for your liking. I like it a little more done. So I maybe cook it for 15 minutes. I'm gonna drizzle it with just a little bit of olive oil so that it browns on top. So we stick it in the oven, 425, and we'll check it in 10 to 12 minutes. While the salmon is cooking, I make a quick little sauce, because with fish, I have to have sauce. So I make this little sauce with stuff you probably have in the fridge or the pantry. We're gonna do some sour cream to give it kind of a creamy base, a little mayo, full fat mayo, don't skimp on me. Do some big teaspoon, maybe another one, half. And then back to our Dijon. We'll do another big teaspoon of Dijon. Squeeze some lemon in there. And then we had those herbs, you know, the dill and the parsley left over, although I used a lot of my dill for my salmon, so I might chop up a little bit more. A little bit of parsley was left over and some scallion. And then I'm gonna do some capers. So I like capers because they give it that kind of briny, pickly little taste. And to save myself time, I'm just gonna put them, not the liquid, just drain the liquid a little. Teaspoon and a half of capers. Pinch of salt. Capers are pretty salty, so we'll do a little bit of salt, little bit of pepper, and that's it. That's your sauce. Really simple. Okay, the salmon's been in there 12 to 15 minutes. It wasn't quite done at 10, but look at how nice and brown it got, and I didn't even have to broil it. Look at that. There it is, my panko herb crusted salmon. So easy. It took 20 minutes start to finish. And now on a weeknight, I wouldn't serve it this way necessarily. I would just, you know, keep it on the pan and not mess up any more dishes. But for a nice occasion or if you're entertaining, take out a platter, I place it on there with some lemon wedges and the sauce, and it looks like you know, did something kind of fancy and you didn't. Okay, I'll cut into it just to give you an idea. A little bit of salmon. What I like to do, because I love the sauce, is I just go. It really is simple. Yummy. So the roasted salmon, honestly, anything goes with it. Sometimes I do roasted broccoli or some rice or a side salad. But if you go to ktla.com, I'll show you how to make my Greek lemony garlic potatoes. You know, one thing I really love is hearing how people started their business. This one in particular, I think is really fascinating. The owner of Salt and Straw, Kim Malik, mother of 3, had a 6-figure job working with Bono. Yeah, U2's Bono. And she gave it all up to start her ice cream shop. I'm with co-founder and CEO of Salt and Straw, Kim Malik. Hi, Kim.
Hi.
The legend, the ice cream legend. It's such a great story when you hear about family businesses, right? That become successful. Yeah. You and your cousin started this.
Tyler, yeah. So in 2011, we started as an ice cream push cart in Portland's Alberta Arts District.
Yeah.
And Tyler was making ice cream in my kitchen. Now we have 14 shops up and down the West Coast and 5 here in Los Angeles.
You were a barista at Starbucks in the very beginning.
You're good.
Okay, but what you learned about business through working at Starbucks made a big difference for you, right? A huge
difference. I mean, I was there and I was watching very closely, seeing how Howard Schultz was really investing in people and making people the center. I mean, it was back in the day when health benefits were offered to all part-time employees and stock options to baristas. And so when I started my company, I wanted to make people central to our business plan as well.
And you worked with a guy named Bono. Maybe you've heard of him. So you had a great job working with Bono. And you said, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to go make some ice cream. Is that what happened?
I was lucky to get to work for RED, which is the company Bono started to raise money for AIDS in Africa. And they were wanting me to move moved to New York, and I was about to move when I went to Portland for the weekend. And I met a guy in a bar, which doesn't usually.
Well, that's always how good things.
But we're still together, and we have 3 kids. And I moved to Portland instead of New York.
So that was the husband at the bar.
Yes.
And he told you to follow that dream of making ice cream.
I had wanted to do this since the early 90s, and he was like, "You have got to do this. You've got to do this."
Okay, Kim, I want to know what your favorite flavors are.
Well, my very favorite flavor here in Los Angeles is our goat cheese with candied olives. It's
Candied olives?
It's almost like eating like an appetizer plate.
It's funny because I have a Salt and Straw in my neighborhood, and every time I look up at the board, I always see the black olive brittle, and I think, am I going to do it? And I've always chickened out.
Today's the day. We could do it.
Hey, let's serve it up. What do you think? Salted, malted.
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
I'm the sensitive tooth person.
So you're like, this is so good, but it hurts. This one is called freckled woodblock chocolate.
There's salt in this.
There is.
Yeah, because it's not super sweet.
You're good.
This is the one my little boy likes.
White chocolate, strawberries.
Right, within the creamy ice cream is an icy strawberry, which is nice.
So it's kind of fun and refreshing with a little bit of that chocolate flavor.
Love that.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Okay, so you've got the goat cheese and then the olive brittle.
You might think almond brittle, but this is olive brittle. So they're candied, and so it gives them, like I said, kind of that sweet, salty taste.
And you notice I got a chunk, so I'm gonna go right for the olive.
Your teeth will thank you later.
Wow.
You did it!
Thank you so much, Kim. This was
great.
fun.
Thank you. Come anytime.
You don't have to ask us twice. We'll be back. I just love her. She's the best. And you know what? There's just something about ice cream that makes people happy. So that isn't all. Kim revealed to us they have those long lines at Salt and Straw. She told us how you can cut the line. So go to KTLA.com to find out how. Coming up on California Cooking. One of my favorite things to do when I don't plan for a weeknight meal is just take a bunch of stuff that I have in the fridge, throw it in a skillet and see what happens. So I did that for Levi. It's called Levi Likes It, but does he? We'll find out in a minute. But up next, have you heard of the Puffy Taco? Chris Burrous takes us to a place that is the original Puffy Taco place in Los Angeles. It's in Whittier. He'll tell you about it coming up. I love Chris Burrous because he loves food, and he also supports these mom and pop joints that have some of the most delicious food around, like this place in Whittier that is known for their Puffy Taco.
Got this email from Greg, says, "Hey Burrous, meet me for Puffy Tacos at Arturo's in Whittier. We're right here on Leffingwell at Arturo's. Let's go inside." Greg, hi, I'm Chris.
Nice to meet you, Chris.
Thanks for doing this with us today. What a spot.
It's been here forever. I grew up right around here, right around the neighborhood.
You've had a lot of the Puffy Taco.
Oh, quite a bit. I still drive probably, 40 minutes just to come here still.
See, that's how you know food. That 40-minute drive, that's a high compliment to you, right?
They drive from all over the place. They come and see us.
Let's order up. Go for it.
I'll have 3 puppies.
I want to try things, so I'd like to do 3 puppies, 1 ground beef, 1 steak, and what's guisada?
It's really tender chunks of beef. It's like a stew beef.
The Puffy starts out looking like a normal tortilla, albeit thicker. But the secret to the fluffy Puffy is taking place down at the bottom of these deep fryers. I can't show you, it's their secret, but it's a trick that's well known in San Antonio and parts of Arizona. 1 minute later, and hiya, Puff Puff! Seasoned ground beef gets laid in and the usual fixins. I ordered other types of meat too, just to give it a try, like these beef cubes in a rich stew sauce. Order up, presenting the Puffy.
Thank you.
Enjoy, you're very welcome.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the shell, the shell of everything. It's crunchy, but it's soft, and it's got, it's kind of greasy, but it's excellent. The ground beef is just real basic, but it kind of like, they must saute it all day or something like that. It's got a lot of other spices, and it's not just ground beef.
Look at the size of the bubble on that thing. Look at all that air as injected underneath that tortilla. All right, for me, I agree with you. Ground beef, puffy taco. That's the joy. So you bite into that little crunchy bit, and then your teeth sink into the soft part, and it's wonderful.
Maybe the other meat choices are good if you've been here a bunch of times, but for the first timer like me, I would stick to the ground beef. The larger chunks tend to get in the way of enjoying the puffiness of the taco.
All right, our total for everything we had here, $22.35. So each puffy taco is about $2.70 a piece. Thank you so much for tipping me off to this place. I thought I'd had every kind of taco. Puffy Taco. Thanks for watching Channel 5. Appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, Chris, that looks so good. I might just hop in the car and head to Whittier right now. Levi likes it. This segment is just, moms, you know, you try to put dinner on the table every night, but your kid doesn't always like it. So I tested out a new recipe on Levi, but does he like it? Hey Levi, you ready for dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. This is what mommy made you. It's lamb, ground lamb, spinach, red peppers, tomatoes, feta, sesame seeds, garlic, crumbled up pita chips. Try it. Rice. What do you think?
Yeah.
Wait, yuck?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Olympia likes it too. He liked it. All right, 364 meals to go. But at least we got one thumbs up on that. If you want to go to ktla.com and find out what Levi likes for dessert, he mentions that too. Thank you guys for joining us. It's been fun. I'm going to go test out a few more recipes, and we'll see you back here next week.